This video is just about screen time, right? And why all screen time is linked to unhappiness, really. And why all non-screen time is linked to happiness. Have you ever thought about how damaging too much screen time can be? You know, we end up kind of sucked into this world where we're just staring at screens all day. And I remember a time before smartphones, even when the first mobile phones came out, or even before that, we had these pagers. Communication was different. It was all in person. All communication was in person. And what it meant was you wasn't chatting all day on WhatsApp or Messenger or whatever, or going in social media. And instead what you was doing was saving conversation for when you meet up with people in person. And I think techniques like that work very well for relationships, basically, all relationships. You know, if you save the conversation for in person, it's much more rewarding than sending a message. You know, don't try and tell your life story over message. Certainly not in the dating sense, because you'll just bore someone to tears. You know, you want to save that for a date, you know, for a meetup. Back to the screen time. Think about people today. You know, it's responsible for a lot of people doing nothing, you know, sitting down, playing computer games. Whereas what they should be doing is getting outside. Even for kids today, you know, they're stuck on a tablet, and it's a job to get them off that tablet and to get them outside. And if the tablets don't work, you know, if you switch off the internet or the internet goes down, they don't kick off. They just sort of put the tablet down and go outside and play in the garden. And you know, but if the internet was working and you try and tell them kids to go in the garden, you'll have a fight on your hands to get them to stop. And it just needs thinking about, really, because you know, when I were a kid and there were none of this stuff, we just used to go out and go to the park or go walking in valleys and go camping and things like this. And now, you know, it's just become a fight like that, even for adults. And you know, it's stopping us being really productive. And whilst I'm in tech and I believe in technology, because obviously that's, you know, my source of income, which helps my techs for business, so it helps businesses to solve problems, which is great. But in our personal lives, I very much like to be out in nature, you know, I like to travel. And when I journal, I like to write in a piece of paper, you know, write a journal, not a digital journal. And reading too, I like physical books. You know, I can get away with audiobooks, but I don't know if, you know, are you the sort of person that reads a Kindle? I'm going to let the Kindle off because it is fabulous technology that is almost like reading a physical book. For ebooks, reading websites and things like this, I just find it taxing, where you know, there's something about picking up a proper book, paper, the way it feels, the way it smells, you can write notes in it, that's really good. That's why I like reading, because I think it's a great use of your time as opposed to, say, watching TV or staring at a screen or something like that. But the best use of your time is to get out there in the world and experience things, you know, whether that's traveling or going on a hike, rather than screen time, you know, or going cycling or doing something productive, or even if it's working on your house or the garden. That is a far better use of your time than screen time. I know it's addictive, but I think it's upon us because things like social media, you know, we know this. I'm not going to go on about social media and its negative sides. There also are some positive, but I think, you know, too much use of it is very negative, and we all know that, whether it's, you know, doom scrolling, whether it's like, you know, just looking at other people's lives and thinking, oh, why am I not doing that, or whatever, looking at silly things on the internet. It's all a big waste of your time. Anything but that, you know, whether you're learning a skill, learning to read, learning to play an instrument, something like this is far better use of your time. If you think about that spare hour that you might have, sometimes that can go into 2, by the way, when you're just staring at a screen. But if you spend that spare hour working on a skill or a goal or something you want to achieve, you'll feel much better about it. It'll pick up your self-esteem and you'll feel proud of yourself for achieving something. So what I always try to do, and I always advise people to do, is don't waste your time on you know, pointless things like TV, watching the news, looking at social media. What you should do is work on one of your skills. You know, so if you're at home and you find yourself having that spare hour to kill, what do? Well, read, learn a skill, learn a sport, train, exercise, learn to play a musical instrument, learn a language, anything but looking at a screen, you know. And if you can, if you've got a bit more time, a great use of it. You know, let's say you got an hour in the middle of the day. If you have already worked on your goals, like I said, do 3 small things a day, then go for a walk, because that too could be a goal. You know, it's a goal on your mental health, on your physical health. Going for a walk, it's a fabulous detox of the mind, and you also burn quite a few calories. Reduce your screen time consciously. Have a look at it and start to reduce it, because it'll improve your health overall, both physically and mentally. Make you happier. All right, I'm going to enjoy this view here a bit more, and then go and get a nice ice cold drink. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and see you all next time.